All right.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man for Sega?
Sega Genesis?
And Western Technologize.
In.
Greetings and salutation. No, that's the wrong intro. That's for my Fraser Analysis podcast. That's not the right one.
We'll skip the intro on this one.
No, I got it. Greetings, weary travelers. The Crypt of the Unknown, a podcast that discusses the horrific and fantastic in all forms of media. And granted, this isn't a podcast. We're actually doing commentary over a video that Stefan recorded here. Mr. Stefan JD, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. This was a Let's Play video that I did of one of the games I grew up with that I'm actually kind of good at. So, yeah, here we go.
Now this game is this is Batman, correct?
Batman.
Yeah, Batman with the red and blue costume.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I remember playing this Batman game for the Super Nintendo, except it was called Spider-Man instead.
Uh-huh. Here's the thing people are going to come to learn about this, is that Webb does not like Genesis, and I grew up with Genesis.
It's not that I don't like... Oh, wow, this is different. Because, okay, so this game was released for the Super Nintendo as well, and already the level layout is different. I'm going to have to record a Super Nintendo version of this so that people can see the differences.
But are you pretty adept at the Super Nintendo one? I don't know if you, grew up with it.
I grew up with it and I can beat it like it's nothing.
Oh, okay, because that gameplay footage you did last time, it looked like you sucked shit, so...
Oh,
just
no.
making sure.
The only reason why it kind of sucked at points in time is because of the game itself. Not because I suck at it, but because the game actually has some legitimately odd control issues. With, how it will completely, eat button presses. You can actually press a button and it will eat the input and, not register it. So it's a game that you have to kind of finesse more than you should ever have to finesse a game. But overall, it's not, a hard... Wow, this battle here, you have this in the Super Nintendo version, but it's on the ground level to the bottom right. So it's really unique how this changes.
So here's the thing, because, obviously... And people always get this wrong. They think, oh, Sega versus Super Nintendo. No, Genesis was Sega's answer to the Nintendo. Okay? So that whole argument is just ridiculous to begin with, because obviously the Super Nintendo was going to be the better system. Here's the thing. With these two versions, though, because they were so closely matched and, games came out for both systems at the time, these are going to play out differently. This one, for me, I think the art for it is closer to the comic book, whereas the Super Nintendo version is closer to Super Nintendo graphics. It just looks like another Super Nintendo game, in my opinion.
Well, this is interesting, because in the Super Nintendo version, it's actually a better battle, because you have to, trick Doc Ock into, waving his tentacles into a laser beam and electrocuting him like that. One big difference you can note is that... Well, first of all, the Coney Island level is the fourth or fifth level in the Super Nintendo version. It's not this early on. But the Spider-Man sprite is much different. In the Super Nintendo version, he looks like he's on steroids compared to this version. This one looks lean and mean like Spidey should. The other one looks like he's like he skipped leg day and did arm day all day for 8 years.
Yeah.
He walks hunched back. It's like his upper body mass is too heavy for him to carry, so it's hulking forward. So it's a really bad Spider-Man animation, and everything with that character. So this, I will admit, this art is better in terms of matching what was, because this came out at the time that the Spider-Man animated series on Fox was out.
Oh, yeah. There was a Superman animated series, so you wouldn't be wrong, although not matching with this game. But yeah, it does look more like that, more akin to the style of that animation. See, here's the thing, too, about this that I don't see it as a negative just because it makes the boss fights easier, but you will be throwing, or I will be throwing all these bombs at bosses because it's just a simple way to take them out. Whereas I'm guessing in the Super Nintendo, you do a little bit more straightforward battling.
I do. I never tried using all the grenades on guys. mostly I just do like these spin kicks, because in the moveset seems to be a bit different, because if you jump while dashing with Spidey in the Super Nintendo, you do this like somersaulting in the air, and if you do a kick out of that somersault, it delivers a lot of damage. So you have a pretty interesting moveset with Spidey in the Super Nintendo version. This one, I just observing it, I'm assuming that does it play better in the sense of like, how does the play control feel? Like when you're playing this, does it feel like sometimes it eats any inputs, like it doesn't like register them, or does it feel like consistent?
Yeah, so as you were saying that, I was actually going to come back to it. Yeah, there are times where if you'll press an input, it is the exact same variable where it will eat the register of it. And my experience with this makes me play it obviously at an awesome level because I've beaten it a million times. Even though, I mean, I haven't played it in a long time, so I will die once here later on. But yeah, Superman, here we go again. Spider-Man feels extremely stiff, in my opinion. And when you press the button, I don't know what it is. Like, how would you explain it, Webb, in the Super Nintendo? Because he feels stiff, and it feels like if you don't press it long enough or hard enough, like it won't register the punch or the hit or anything.
It almost feels like if Spider-Man is even at the very tail end of another animation, and you try to do something, he will not respond until that animation is completely over, and you moved on to like something else. Like you could land. And like I don't know why is Spidey just standing there? Okay, he's moving.
So somebody called me right in the middle of this. I apologize to everyone, and I was like, "Wait, okay, yeah, great." It was my boss. I'm like, "Okay, bye."
Okay, so you see when Spidey lands here, he does a little bit of like he kind of reorients himself. His feet kind of like reset themselves a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So in most games, right when that animation starts to happen, you could probably jump again. I mean, it's not like a fighting game where the animation has to complete itself entirely. But in Spider-Man for the Super Nintendo, if that animation isn't completely done, it seems, then and you try to do something else, you're fucked. It's not going to happen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's probably just the same then. That sounds about right.
But it's really something to get used to, and until you get used to it, it can be problematic. And then you have jumping mechanics like this. That can be so problematic. And that's a big problem with the other game, too, is that the platforming is not very good because Spider-Man doesn't always jump when you want him to. It's like, if he's in a certain part of his run cycle and you try to jump, he's not going to jump.
Yeah. I was just going to ask, this part right here, this little secret room, is that in the Super Nintendo version?
I don't know if this part is. There's other secret rooms in the Super Nintendo version that lead into the sewers where you can pick up a bunch of 1-ups and power-ups.
Yeah, get the Fantastic Four, I think.
Get the Fantastic Four and also fight Dr. Connors.
Yeah, the lizard, that's right.
And there's
I'm watching. I was just gonna say, watch this, where this is the biggest bullshit, like, mini-boss. I just jack up Mysterio.
Oh, God.
There he is, he's gone.
She's gone.
Yeah.
But, no, in Spidey for the SNES, the cool thing about fighting Dr. Connors is that he's in his lizard form. If you hit him enough times, he reverts back to a human. And if you accidentally hit him when he's in human form, he reverts back to lizard mode and he becomes temporarily like invincible until you leave that area and just pursues you relentlessly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
This does not happen in the... that part does not happen in the SNES version. You don't fight... I think that's like the Machinist or something, or I can't remember. Tinkerer. I think that's a Tinkerer.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, you do get the Green Goblin fight, though the background here is really bland, and the Super Nintendo version takes place in like a really colorful top of the amusement park.
Yeah. That by the way, that web swing and kick in his face was pure luck. I did not mean to do that.
The deconstruction zone. Now, if this is like... Okay, so this is the second level in the Super Nintendo version.
Oh, okay. So third level here, second level Super Nintendo.
Yeah, and you're fighting Master Chief there.
Yeah. No, that's one of the OST troopers, isn't it?
That's right, because there's only one Master Chief. You're right. Level layout is a little different here, and boy, the colors on this are just grimy as all fuck compared to the Super Nintendo one. That is one thing that objectively, I mean, you can't even argue this, the Super Nintendo had a vastly superior color palette. Because it just could produce more colors. The Sega had better processing power to do more objects on screen, but in terms of color and vibrancy, Super Nintendo could produce much better color palettes than this.
Yeah, but it's fine for what it is because at least they like work with it in a kind of good way. I mean, it is dawn or the sun setting here, so I mean, it looks good. I mean, I wouldn't say it looks awful. It just, I mean, maybe it doesn't look as super colorful as Super Nintendo, but I wouldn't say it looks awful.
No, it doesn't look awful. This looks better than the background for the last fight you had against Green Goblin, though.
Oh, yeah. No, that one was bad. I will admit the Super Nintendo, God, when I saw that, I was like, wow, that looks awesome.
And then another thing that's interesting about this, too, is the third level in the Super Nintendo one is actually like this kind of like a breather area. It's a bridge level where you just swing across the underside of a bridge. So you get this extra kind of like web swinging thing that actually can be really cool once you get into the rhythm of it.
That's also in this game, but it's a secret level. So you can do that, but it's secret. And I don't like doing it because I honestly think the controls are too stiff. That it makes it twice as difficult. And if it's easier in Super Nintendo, that's awesome.
You just killed Gordon Freeman. I appreciate that. Can you pick up his magic crowbar?
Yeah, go kill some lambda.
That's how you do things. You forget where to go right here?
I thought there was a secret power-up back there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been like I don't know, like 2 years since I beat it, so I was just kind of going with it.
That's a long time to go without beating it.
Yeah, that muscle memory.
Yeah, you gotta use a lot of muscles when you're beating it. Spider-Man, that is. Of course.
I mean, again, if people go and play this game, especially the version I'm playing, you're gonna see what I mean by the controls. They're not 100% easy. I mean, they're not hard, but they're not easy either.
Yeah, they're hard. It's gonna cause you to feel a little stiff when you're beating it.
Yeah, nobody likes being stiff.
I mean, you kind of have to be a little bit stiff when you're beating it, otherwise you're not beating it right. Let's talk about Spider-Man.
Yeah, of course.
Of course I am.
This is, this part right here, is this in the Super Nintendo version? The elevators and everything?
Elevators, but they're like these open platforms instead of like enclosed elevators, and we don't get the swinging cranes in the Super Nintendo version.
Okay. And this part right here, this is like a secret. You kind of had to figure out to get to the last boss of the level. Just this little, how do I get up there? I wonder. And I paused specifically for this. Oh, you just crawl right up there. Okay.
See, in this, in the Super Nintendo version, you're not fighting Alistair Smythe at this point in time. You're fighting like the Spider Seeker or the Spider Slayer like machine.
Mm-hmm. The one he builds.
Yeah, the one he builds. Smythe doesn't become a villain in the game until the 5th or 6th level where you're at J. Jonah Jameson's penthouse.
Oh wow. So there's probably more levels to the Super Nintendo one than I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think so. There's another fun move you can do in the Super Nintendo one. I don't know if you can do it in here. But if you just crouch down and kick, you have like a hell of a range that helps keep enemies at bay.
Mm-hmm. This is a terrible jump, by the way. Like,
Yeah,
you have to do that perfect.
Oh, that's the other thing. Spider-Man's jump momentum and mechanics are not great in the Super Nintendo version. They don't look much better here.
Yeah.
Okay, so now this is interesting because this is the first part of the construction level in Stage 2 of Spider-Man. So it's like it's like the Sega version broke up level 2 of the Super Nintendo one and put it into 2 parts for the Sega one.
Yeah, and this fight is ridiculously hard, which is why, sadly, I do die on it. But it's because I remembered you're not supposed to throw the grenades. You're just supposed to kick him. And if you kick him and he hits you every time, you'll always win because he just has one extra or one less life than you do.
Makes sense. Xenomorphs don't respond well to kicks.
Or fire.
Or Fire.
Yeah.
Or Ridley.
Yeah, but I totally
Ripley.
forgot, and I was being a dumbass, so I had to just do it again real quick. This is probably the shortest level before the end level, if I'm remembering correctly.
See, in the Super Nintendo one, the alien thing isn't a boss. It's just kind of like a mini boss.
Oh, okay.
I don't even think it's mandatory to fight. I mean, it might be if I remember correctly, but I think it's just more a mini boss. Oh, this doesn't even have the roller coaster section that Coney Island in the Super Nintendo did. That had a whole level section.
Yep.
Yeah, they really truncated this game for the Sega.
Do you think it's a memory issue? I don't think it is. I'm wondering what it was. Was it a different company?
No, it looks like it was, for all I can tell, all the same companies that were involved.
Yeah, same assets and everything, just scaled down.
The assets are a bit different, because the Super Nintendo sprites are a little bigger than what we have here. Like, even the alien is a bit bigger. So there's a lot of things that are, I don't want to say superior, but different in the Super Nintendo version.
Okay.
Oh, you're not having a good day on this level.
Yeah, this was like, it was just trying to come back to like, wait, how did I kick this guy's ass again? I was just like, I gotta remember, what was it?
But I will say the character sprites and everything do look better, and even the level design looks better in the Super Nintendo version. It looks like a 16-bit game. This looks like a souped-up 8-bit game at times.
It's pretty cool though.
Yeah, I mean, it looks, the style of it is good. I mean, that's just solid style. Like, they did the best they could with the technology that they had to do this. But it's funny seeing the differences, and part of those differences come from the fact that at the time, they wanted Sega wanted to have a different experience for gamers than for the Nintendo crowd. So they would purposely make or advise companies to make games different enough so that there would be a different feel to them. Ravencroft, Prison for the Insane.
Yeah, this is where it's almost like a boss, just Mysterio right at the beginning, whap right in the face. But it's almost kind of like a boss rush in a way, not specifically, but you do run into like a bunch more villains, and you're immediately just bombarded with like this whole scale of the prison where you don't know where to go and everything looks the same. It's not hard to figure out, but it's kind of, I guess, jarring a little bit, just because it looks so similar.
Yeah, the Super Nintendo has both longer levels with multiple different parts to them and more levels, so there's much more content in the game than what you have here.
Are you trying to say the Super Nintendo version is better, Webb?
Not necessarily, because I think that sometimes the Super Nintendo levels are a bit too long. I think these are a bit too short, so there's not a happy middle ground, but that's what the SNES version has going against it. The levels are just too long.
Yeah. This is Hammerhead?
Yeah, Hammerhead you would fight in the Super Nintendo on stage 2, the construction level.
Oh, wow, okay.
I don't know what he was doing at the construction yard, but, you know, I'm not going to judge.
Probably using his head as a hammer.
And Shocker was also there as well, in the construction yard.
Huh. Now I kind of want to beat it and be like, oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of differences. It's funny how a game that, with the same name, can be so radically different in just these small ways that make for a different experience.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the Spider-Man animated cartoon?
It was like everything back in the day. I mean, that blew my mind, especially when they would introduce like third-rate characters like the Prowler, or even the Punisher would show up. I had some of the 70s comics too of Morbius. So when he showed up in the animated series, like even that blew my mind. What about you?
A couple of fun notes about it. First of all, because of censors, like Morbius couldn't say blood, he had to keep saying plasma.
Yeah.
So it's constantly after plasma.
Everyone was using a laser gun that would just stun. Yeah.
And, you know, when you rewatch it, because I've rewatched it recently, this character, by the way, I think this not, I can't remember what the term for this one is. Like maybe jack-o'-lantern or something, I can't remember.
I think it is.
But you would fight him in the roller coaster section of Coney Island Park. Shows up here, though. But, yeah, there were so many censorship issues that they had to get around for the Fox Kids version. If you rewatch it now, what I don't understand is there must have been something happening behind the scenes that forced them to cut the shows short, because episodes are like 19 minutes long, and that's including the intro and outro themes. Mm-hmm. So cut off like a minute for each of those, and you're working with literally like 17-minute, maybe 16-minute episodes. So there's this constant sense when you're watching the episodes that they feel rushed. Like the dialogue is a bit too fast. They don't take as much time between characters speaking as they should. And I don't know what caused that to happen. But the series does some things really well about introducing different characters and absorbing you into the Marvel Universe. But then it just does so many things terribly wrong in terms of just the pacing and being held back by the censorship. But, you know, fun facts too. Captain America in it was voiced by... actually, do you know who voiced him?
I forget, but I know at one point I did know, because there's actually a couple people on that show that are pretty famous now. Or were famous.
When you find out who voiced Captain America in it, you're going to say, damn. Damn.
Hayter?
It was David Hayter, voiced Captain America.
Yeah, that's right.
He voiced Captain America, but he didn't quite use this voice. That would have been really weird. And then Iron Man, Tony Stark, was voiced by Robert Hayes, who's most famous for his portrayal of Ted Stryker in the Airplane movies.
Yes, exactly.
Now here's another fun thing. You know how you're inserting the key cards here?
Yep.
So in the Super Nintendo version, you don't get key cards from the bosses from the levels. You pick up the key cards in Ravencroft.
Oh, so you just get them while you're at the actual prison.
Yeah, like there's a section in Ravencroft where you have to pick up the key cards and then use them in different locations.
Now you really got to do a Let's Play of that, and we need to discuss it, because I need to see this game. I actually haven't even ever seen a full playthrough of it. And if anyone's wondering why my dumbass is pausing this for so long, it's because I'm trying to remember where the... No, I'm trying to remember what order the keys go in.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think it's axe, horseshoe, the letter B, and a palm tree.
Oh, I thought the horseshoe was stood for God of War.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, you're right. That does stand for God of War.
And the B is for Batman.
Oh, okay, that's right. It's the Huntsman, Kratos, Batman, and Tree Man.
Tree Man from that famous Mega Man game we all love.
Mega Man 12.
Yes. I really should have cut this part out.
Yeah, you're giving me really illuminating conversational topics here.
I will say, though, for anyone that's never played this, the Fantastic Four suck ass in this game, and there's absolutely no reason to get them whatsoever.
Why does Johnny Storm look like he's peering into my soul?
Mm-hmm. He's on fire.
Like, he doesn't look like he's on fire. He looks like he's dying. And the Thing looks like someone's punched him in the jaw. He's got, like, permanently, like he had a mild stroke on the side of his face. It's covering to the side of his face.
Yeah, hey, it's clobbering time, Adrian.
It's clobbering time. I can't talk right. It's clobbering time. I'm Rocky, eh?
Johnny Storm actually kind of looks like Dr. Manhattan a little bit.
And meanwhile, Reed Richards looks like, what did you accuse me of? I didn't touch that child. Like he has a shocked look on his face. Look at him. Huh?
My hands were over here. Sue's like, whatever, Reed.
Yeah.
Going back to my top model.
The Fantastic...
Jesus Christ.
I don't know what the Fantastic... This has grown for a while.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
Gotta check out Game Facts right now.
I think what it was is I had it written down and I'm just going through all the papers on my desk frantically. Like, where are you?
Why did you take so many notes about Ernest Scared Stupid, goddammit?
These key cards are a menace.
God almighty. In the Super Nintendo game, the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards comes out and just like dances for a second, and then like some items appear. Sue gives you armor. The Thing just like jumps up and down a couple times and destroys enemies that are at ground level. And then Johnny just comes out and does like a solar flare and knocks enemies on the screen dead, and that's all they do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, Johnny sucks. You know what they took that from too is I think the X-Men for Genesis came out before this, and they did the same thing with characters on that.
Thrilling.
Yeah, except for those characters actually do shit. These ones do not. I will admit though too, for people who haven't listened to the soundtrack to this, it's actually really good. Especially the Ravencroft level music.
Okay.
Especially on that Genesis sound card, right, Webb?
Yep, that wonderful Yamaha sound chip. I think it's Yamaha.
Whatever it is, it's golden.
It's golden something.
Fills my heart with joy.
Fills my heart with something.
Now, so, because we're coming on the last boss here, did you have, in the Super Nintendo, did you have more than one boss, or is it just the same boss that we all know and love, we're going to assume we all know, everyone knows who the last boss is?
Yeah, Sandman.
Yep.
Yeah. I wasn't a big fan.
Oh, okay.
No, there was a Venom fight, and I think that's the only fight. Oh, there he is.
Yep. And
wow.
This is the most ridiculous fight in the game, as you will see. All you have to do to beat this Venom is just simply crouch right here, throw out your leg.
This is wow, Ravencroft. This is a much worse level. Like Ravencroft, at least in the Super Nintendo, has like different parts to it.
Mm-hmm.
This is just kind of a mess. I don't remember what Venom's AI is like in the Super Nintendo one because it's been so long since I beat it, but I know I never had a problem with him. Oh, another cool thing about the Super Nintendo version, if you die, you start right back where you were. Like Spider-Man, yeah, Superman. Spider-Man just gets like right back up. He's like, I'm not dead. I got this.
Second wind.
Yes.
Why do we keep saying Superman? We're looking at a Spider-Man game.
Because
I don't know why.
It's the red and blue.
Yeah, it's just drawing us in.
And because I keep saying Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
So that's the reason why.
And we both love America.
Yes. One of the important things I like to discuss in the middle of a video game podcast is my love of America.
Exactly. Fuck yeah.
Coming again to save the mother. Yeah.
America. Fuck yeah.
Freedom is the only way, yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and show people what Venom looks like a little bit. I can't just sit up here.
I don't think that was a very good decision.
Boom.
You just killed him. Game complete. Hell of an ending.
Yeah. So, for anyone who has ever watched a movie from the 80s, remember when they used to say what would happen to the characters after the movie?
Yes.
This game does that.
This is what we needed.
Mm-hmm. Whereabouts...
Mysterio, who believed to be missing in action!
Yep, it is a mystery.
I was right, it's Jack-O-Lantern.
Yep.
Now doing time in the Ravencroft Institute for the Criminally Insane. They could just put that for everybody. Smythe, the ultimate spider slayer, he and his robotic spider slayer minions have been dismantled. Dismantled him? And they recycled him for his valuable titanium? The owl, who we spent all of nothing watching or seeing in the video.
Now working hard at local Burger King.
Rhino. He was found dead in an alley, shot up to death with heroin.
That's terrible.
It's not my fault if it's true.
Shocker, his girlfriend broke up with him that week. He was shocked.
It's so funny that the Rhino and Jim Belushi met the very same end.
Oh, gosh.
Green Goblin has flown off screen and will never be seen from again.
He's just gone.
Didn't even bother having him on screen.
Someone's like, fuck it. This is my last week here.
I don't want time to animate.
Wrecker.
Didn't even know her.
Gordon Freeman. Thunderball.
That was
Partied.
That was the fourth Bond film, Thunderball.
Yeah. I still haven't watched it, I don't think. There's one I haven't watched. Yeah.
Just one?
Just one. Well, I mean, this is the end of the video, so I guess we should just say bye to everyone. Thanks, everyone, for watching this. I hope it was entertaining.
I like how the alien just crawled up like a stomped bug, and he just runs off.
This was one of my favorite games growing up. I used to beat it every day during the summer. Apparently, Webb was also playing the Super Nintendo version and beating it, so that's interesting.
Yeah, no, my version Beetle didn't just fly off screen and be like, bye!
Bye, everyone!
There goes a rubber ducky. Who made this game? Jesus Christ.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
Except on Sega, he does it less, and with less stages to do it in. Oh yeah, let's never play that again.
Alright, bye.